Hey there, it's Brittany Chavers and I am back today with Dress It Up buttons and Jesse James beads, and we're going to make some fun earrings using the Halloween spirit animal buttons from Dress It Up, and then some cute pink and green beads in the Saints Green strand and the Fuchsia Fedora strand. So we're going to actually need 2 packs of the Halloween spirit animals. And we're going to use all of the buttons that are in each pack. So to start, we're going to do a technique that I'm fond of, which is attaching jump rings and some earring flatbacks to each one of these buttons. And to start, I'm going to cut off the shanks of all of our buttons. And imagine that I'm doing this with 2 packs. And then I'm going to start cutting off the shanks of our little puppy and our kitty. And with the puppy and kitty, I'm going to take off the last layer, and I'll show you why in just a moment. That shank was really holding that last layer in place, even though the eyes are kind of holding it in place. We want to reinforce that. The glue that I'm using today is E6000. A good tip is using the smaller tubes if you can, because the larger tubes tend to dry out faster than I can use them. I'm just going to take my E6000 and dab a little bit right where we had that shank on both the cat and the dog. And then I'm just going to put the back of each button back on and secure it by pressing. And then we could just set that aside for a few moments. Okay, I do have a little seepage out the side, so I'm just going to I have a little piece of extra wire. I'm just going to take that wire and clean that up, and you can just put it on the back. Spread that glue around a little bit, and you're good to go. Now, with my roses, I also got out some glue-on earring posts. We're going to take our E6000, and I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue on the top of each one of my roses. It doesn't really matter, I just do it at the top of one of the petals. I'm just gonna press my earring post into that glue. Now I tend to take my piece of wire, or you can use a head pin or an eye pin, and spread that glue that's puddled up over the back of the earring post so it doesn't move around or come off. All right. So I'm going to do that 4 times. You want to make sure you're doing this in a well-ventilated area because it's very potent stuff. You can even use a respirator too. Next, I'm going to take my little puppy and my little kitty, and I'm going to jump out a bunch of jump rings. These are 6mm jump rings. And I am going to make another dot of glue right at the top of the cat and the dog. I'm going to take my jump ring, and you'll see where the split is right there. And I'm going to place that in the glue, split side in the glue. And then we're going to have the other side hanging off of our button. And I use a more pointed or intricate piece or pliers to place that, just so I have more control. You can use your fingers, but sometimes it's a little clumsy. And I'm just going to do that exact same thing. Bring that glue up so it captures my piece. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry for 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the cat. We will push that down and then bring our glue up and over. And then this is what it'll look like from the front. It looks like a cute little charm now. Finally, I'm going to take each one of my roses and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So we're making these into a connector. Now, if you just want a cute little rose earring, totally fine. Just put the flat back or the earring post on like this, get an earring back, and you've got cute little post earrings really quickly. But I'm going to do a little bit more jazzing up. I am going to go ahead right across from each one of my posts. I'm going to put another dot of glue and then embed a jump ring. Take our jump ring and drop it in. I'm seeing I have a little hanging off. It's totally fine. There you go. And you can totally gauge how much you want hanging off. So if you don't want a whole lot, you want it to be mostly hidden, you would just push it up more. This one, I'm just gonna go up a little bit more, and then I will embed that jump ring and then set it aside for 20 to 30 minutes to let it dry. And then we're not gonna wear these for 24 hours because we want everything, want that glue to fully cure. You can probably do the same thing with resin or UV resin if you'd like. I tend not to use resin very much, but to each their own. That would be a definite alternative to the E6000. Through the magic of television, I already have one that's dry in each of the buttons. And this is what our pieces look like from the front. We're gonna make, that was the hardest part of the first and second pairs of earrings that we're gonna make. I am just going to take a smaller jump ring, and with my puppy, I am going to attach that jump ring connector and my rose together. And then we will close that up. And we've got a cute little earring, so sweet. And then with the kitten, I am going to grab the yellow button and if you only have one pack of buttons, you can have an asymmetrical pair of earrings by putting the cat and the dog together, but we'll be doing 2 separate pairs of earrings here using 2 packs. So there's the first style. And then I said I was going to use some of these Jesse James beads. We're going to use the Fuchsia Fedora strand and the Saints green strand. We're gonna open those up. I'm gonna take this bling ball, is what I call it, but it's a rhinestone encrusted metal bead. I have a ball head pin and one of these little green pumpkins. I'm gonna take the green pumpkin, put that on the ball head pin. Then I'm gonna take a smaller crystal rondelle spacer, that bling ball, and then I am going to put on one of the potato chip spacers, and then I'm gonna wire wrap this. Like we normally would. And then before wire wrapping that closed, I'm gonna slip on my orange connector, my orange earring. All right, and then we will wire wrap that closed. You can use your pliers, you can use your fingers, whatever works for you. Get a couple wraps around, and then we will cut that with our nippers. So I'm going to pull that through one more time. There we go, much better. Snip that off. And we've got an adorable earring. It almost kind of looks like a plant pot with a flower growing out of it, but I love it. I love these vibrant colors. And then we're gonna make one using the pink flower. I am gonna go ahead and grab another ball head pin. I'm going to grab one of these dangles, these little pear-shaped beads or triangle-shaped beads, and then I am going to do a wire wrapped loop. I have some 22 gauge German style wire from Beadalon. Cut a piece of that. We will wire wrap onto that dangle we just made. Just do a couple wraps here, nothing too much. And then I am going to grab one of these green spacers, the hot pink matte bead, another green spacer, and then one of the green crystal globes. And then I am going to go ahead and do a wire wrap loop. And attach that to my flower. Make sure that's open a little bit, and then slip that flower right on there. I'm going to close that up, and then I'm going to wire wrap down my my beads. So I'm going to make sure that flower's out of the way. Do a couple wraps here, and then I'm going to hold that in place. And then move my wire down my beads like that. And then I'm going to come down here and wire wrap it down by the loop at the bottom. Now my previous wrap has kind of gone into my green bead, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just going to anchor it there with a couple wraps, and then I'm going to bring it back up and around and finish it off by looping back up at the top. And this is totally optional, but it gives such a fun look, a fun wrapped look. Here's our fun floral dangle using a button and a bunch of beads. So we made 4 pairs of earrings. I'll go ahead and make the mates and then show you those. Here are our pairs. We've got our cute little pups, little cats, our orange roses, and our pink and green pair. Super duper cute. I'm so excited about these. Thank you to Jessie James Beads and Dress It Up Buttons for having me back, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye.